Okay, so today we are having dynamic exercises. We will start as usual with our maybe longer, like 3-4 minutes of belly breathing, then 3-4 minutes of chest breathing, and then some minutes of full inhale in 3 steps, and then 3 steps exhale. 3 steps inhale, stop, release, 3 steps exhale. I will once again remind you. Then we will do the short warm-up according to your possibilities. I will maybe show you more simple warm-up that is most efficient for me. It's just pull-ups, but I do it in some kind of different way. I will explain you why. And then we will do some short dynamic upper chest and lung stretching. So let's start with our breathing only with our belly. Just put your hand on your chest to be sure that it's not moving, and try first. Shodohara Daroshi, when asked about how to make good inhale, he's telling always, you must do good exhale. So to do proper inhale, first we must just go furthermore with our exhalation till our belly is completely flat, and then a little push. And then we can start to breathe with our belly. If it will be helpful for you, you may also take your finger and point to the point 3 fingers below the navel, and just hold here or add here your warm hand, just to feel the warmness of your hand, and with that sensation go forward, inward, forward, inward, forward. Observe the moving of the belly. And it's maybe the trick that usually we are used to breathing with our upper chest, so with our intercostal muscles. And usually we hear how we are breathing. There's always some kind of subtle sensation that there is tension in them. By doing those exercises, we develop our breathing muscles on many levels, in many details, so that finally we will be able to provide all our breathing just with these lower muscles, without even the urge to control the airflow with our glottis. And in that way, our state of mind while making the meditation will become much more quieter, because we will not have the sensation of ourselves breathing. We will just become the energy. But maybe we will go to that moment a little bit later. Now, first, please try to work with your abdominal muscles and diaphragm. Also, while expanding the belly, you can feel a little bit tension here, but it means that these muscles are stretching. They are usually tensed to keep us breathing. And while putting our belly forward, we are also relieving the tension from those muscles. Try to keep your head straight. Use it as kind of weight that will make the proper position of you, directing from the top of the head through your spine to your belly sensation, to your abdominal muscle sensation. Help yourself with head to find the sensation of the abdominal muscle. Try what it would be if you just breathe out a little bit slower, 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 until the moment that you feel that you must take the air. Do it in a relaxed way, giving this breathing time. And just by releasing the tension that you create with your abdominal muscle when it's completely flat, just look that you inhale. And while inhaling, observe this freshness and this openness that is going into your body. You don't have to use muscles to make this fresh first take in of the air. Try to find it. Go until the end, and when it's flat, you can give this small push-up. And then you can take in the air naturally, without tension. And just try now, what would it be if you just stopped consciously squeezing your muscles, putting the tension on your muscles to breathe, but just what it would be if you just stay like open, just observing your tandem. Just look what will happen. Take the air first, go to your with your awareness to your tandem and just stay like open without breathing. With tandem a little bit. Again, observe the energy of your tandem. Stay relaxed, like not breathing but open, with open glottis open mouth, open nostrils. And you see that the breathing is happening naturally without your consciousness. Just by staying with your awareness in your tandem, you don't have to care about pushing and concentrating and giving the tension. Just by staying with this awareness and feeling relaxed. It is very soft, long, but it's happening naturally. Just staying with your tandem. You just feel the sensation of your tandem strongly and a little bit of tension just at the end when you feel that the air is like missing, that you have the urge to breathe. But it's like 20 seconds at least until the breathing is going naturally, just very gently. And you not observe the pushing energy of your muscles, but you just observe the vibration of your body and of your tongue. You may try to do it 2 times more and we will go to upper chest breathing. But now, while observing that, stay with your open eyes, with your head balanced, like you would be sitting zazen. Throat open. Slowly. Feel the vibration of hands, of feet. And give this last push and breath out, breathe in. So you can practice this way every day. First, starting with giving this belly a little bit movement, giving movement to your diaphragm, to your abdomen, and then finishing by few breaths, like not breathing, but the breath is coming naturally by just observing the tandem. Okay, now chest breathing. We are just staying with our tandem. We can stay with the focus, but let's try just to inhale with ribs on the sides and then slowly up. You can use your chin to give this breath possibility to open also up. You can adjust it to your urge to breathe. It's connected to CO2 tolerance. the more CO2 tolerance you have, the less urge to breathe you have. And it means also that you can accumulate more CO2 in your blood lymph. So the CO2 also makes you feel relaxed in blood plasma. Sorry. Okay. So now, starting with first total exhale with this small push, we are doing the 3 steps inhale. First lower abdomen, then our diaphragm, then our upper chest. Relax, release the air, put the tension on your diaphragm and lower abdomen. Release abdomen, diaphragm, chest. Release chest, diaphragm, abdomen. Try to do it now as gently and in slow mode and adjust it to your feeling of comfort.
The head gets a little fuzzy.
It means that you are breathing too fast. Too fast, yeah. When you are getting fuzzy, it means that you hyperventilate, and you must just do this slower. And we can try, because I like those exercises that we can add numbers to them. Numbers is just seconds, and in that way we can observe our progress. For example, we might first try how we would feel if we would do it. That usually should be done in proportion 2:1. So length of exhalation twice as long as length of inhalation. So we may, for many people, when we speak about Zen breathing, and we tell that in Zen usually you should at least breathe 12 seconds. Roshi is saying that 8 is like totally minimum to have the proper breathing. And as I told before, it's connected to our way how we breathe, which part of our lung, total lung capacity. And to have this natural way of breathing, we are usually exchanging one total volume of our lungs. It means total lung capacity through 1 minute. So when Roshi is telling to breathe about 8 or 12 seconds, he is really telling you to breathe your total lung capacity through 1 minute, because it will be 5 times per minute. And by breathing with our belly, we are exchanging like 20% of our air, of our lung capacity. So it is just like the beginning of Zen practice. And when we then try to do the exhale longer, we are, it's true that our muscles are stronger, so we can get more air. But also our exhale is much longer, and we are slowly moving into hypercapnic breathing, which accumulates the CO2 in our blood plasma, and it also lowers our heart rate and makes us feel just not tense, just relaxed and calm in mind. It's simple. So let's do an experiment. Usually when I'm telling to people, just please do the breathing, and they are firstly doing the breathing, it's coming out that they cannot breathe like 10 seconds because they do not observe the proper way the muscles that they are using. So they usually breathe with upper chest, like, and when they are starting to count, it's like 4 seconds. 1 second inhale, 3 seconds exhale. It's also natural for me. But if we will go deeper, I can easily do like, and I will show you with hands, and then we can do it together. But first, look, I will do the exhale, inhale. Exhale. I don't know how long was it. I was just doing the counting. But you see that the way is to make our possibilities of taking the bigger amount of air by working with our muscles, and also it's the way of working with our awareness how to inhale using those muscles to, with no problem, do like 30 seconds breathing and breath out. For 30 seconds, it's easy. It's just and there was a lot of space still to go with this advanced way. And how you feel when you hold your breath. When you hold your breath and you control your breath, there is nothing else. Everything is cut off. You are just staying, because without one breath, you will die. So all your nervous system, all that you are, is just concentrated on that one thing, because it's just connected to your primal way of being. Really. So in that way, the ancient masters, I think, they discovered the techniques to help people to calm their mind and to stay focused and concentrated just by working with your breathing.
Yeah. Question. So basically, what we're trying here to do with these exercises is to raise this CO2.
No, this CO2 tolerance is something that is really
Just a by process.
by process,
By process.
but it's not something that is still. If you just train it, do it every day with your meditation, you will quickly increase. And also by staying on the session, you increase rapidly because you're doing an hours during the day. Also, this CO2 tolerance, there's a Bohr law, some chemical stuff that they were making some science researches. And they just discovered that when your organism has a lot of CO2, then it accumulates and makes the O2 exchange really better, oxides your body in better ways. And I was experimenting with that because while being practicing Zen for 10 years, once I saw my friend who is running marathon, and I was doing nothing in sports. I was just like practicing 3 days, at least 3 hours a day. It was all that I was doing. And once I saw my friend who is doing the marathon, I hated running so much. But when I saw that this guy his weight was 100 kilograms, and he was doing the marathon in front of my face, and I was so lazy with my 60 kilogram weight body. So I said, "Oh no, I will be running with him." And we started to run together. And although I wasn't running at all, I noticed that when he was running, he was doing like 4 breaths. I was doing 1. And for years, I didn't know why was it and how was it. I always thought that it's a magician thing about the state of mind. It is a state of mind if you observe it from the state of mind, but you can also observe it on a body physical chemical level. And during those years, when I started to do freediving and especially static apnea, it came out that this tolerance for CO2 is something important, but it also gives you a stamina because you are much more better oxidated when you have this CO2. So that's why people who were making sports are especially good people who want to build the stamina. The good exercises is swimming. And we can ask why. Because there is restriction of breathing. There's a big restriction. You cannot just breathe whenever you want. You must have the rhythm, and you must just sometimes keep the breath, hold the breath, sometimes pull out. It's just like Zazen. And many people who are doing this extreme sports for longer distance, they are telling that they are, after some kilometers, they are not running, something is running. So they are getting into the sports samadhi. And the same was with me. I don't know why, because I developed my way of breathing properly by Zazen. I could maybe I could get married because my wife was professional cyclist, many times champion of Poland, and she was very talented. But the contusion took her out of the sport. But when she wanted to test me, she took me on a bicycle, and I was like never riding the bicycle. But she couldn't keep my tempo. But when we were going back home, I just immediately had to go 12 hours of sleeping there, and she was doing normal things. So this was the reason. And last time also I started to work because now she changed the sport and now she likes to run, and sometimes we are doing like Sunday runnings with our family to also give our children the inspiration to keep their body and mind in good condition. In the morning we are running with our whole family, and in the evening we are usually going for zazen. And while running, I'm experiencing just breathing by nose, not breathing by mouth. And then there is a restriction of breathing, because by your nose you cannot breathe, and you cannot hyperventilate. You can just add on this way of breathing to give a little bit more air. And I see that although I'm just like Sunday runner, for me it's no problem to run like 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers in good tempo. And it also trained my breathing muscles well by just in running breathing. And older people should just breathe by nose always, whatever you do, and not maybe running, but going with Nordic walking or any exercise outside doing with nose would also increase the tolerance for CO2, and it will immediately get out of also anxiety. It's working like that. Maybe you can read somewhere. I remember that there was some kind of thing that I was always laughing at, that when some children got a panic attack or asthma, they immediately had to take the some kind of bag and breathe in through the bag, and in that way they were breathing out CO2 and getting it back. So they were nourishing the body, mind, nervous system with CO2. So these exercises are important because they rise your tolerance for CO2, and they develop your muscles, so they also develop your lung capacity.
Last question. From what you said, there's what if we do the opposite? Like, what, instead of building CO2, because I know some breathing exercises that are just like outside in, that makes you breathe very intensely, like if you spin a wheel of breathing, and it's non-stopping. They say don't make any pause, and breathe the max with your nose, with your mouth, and
it's hyperventilation.
Yeah.
And in Zen and in Zen meditation, it's not used. There are techniques in pranayama and some specialists that use it, but as I noticed from freediving, there are two states that we don't want. And our body is much more intelligent and much more wise than our thoughts. So the state that we don't want is the state where we do not have when we have the low percentage of oxygen. So we are hypoxic, and then we will having this feeling of urge to breathe. But the indicator of the urge to breathe is a big level of CO2, not low level of O2. But our organism will just defend yourself, and he will put you into sleep. Like a magician, just in the moment, you will go into sleep. If there is this hypoxia. And you will go into sleep still having like 30% of oxygen in your blood. You can always train that. Probably with 50% or 60%, average people will also have the blackout. So we'll go into sleep. And it's to make your body relax, not tense, and to keep the reserve of oxygen, the last amount that you have, as long as it is possible. So the body is defending to live as long as it's possible. So it's one thing that our body doesn't like. And another thing is the high level of O2. also. Because of too high level of O2 and too low level of CO2, your body will also turn you off. You will also go into sleep or some strange states to also preserve some things not to happen to you. But what I would say, you will just go into sleep. And it's called also blackout. It's blackout also with hyperventilation. And then again, you will lose your body, lose any tension, and get to your natural, normal breathing, and you will wake up. But this hyperventilation is connected also to your very fast heart rate. It immediately starts to go very fast, maybe to deal with the O2 and higher pressure. It wants to get rid of the pressure because it's high, so it wants to pump it out of the blood. And when you have this long exhale, you are doing a low pressure, so heart also doesn't have to beat so fast because it doesn't have to pump out the blood that is in your system. If you will be interested in some more details, maybe someday put it on the website. But really, it doesn't matter too much to know that. I read this many times and analyze it many times, and always when I'm speaking about it, I analyze it again and again because really it's not important. We are observing and we are being with the world from this perspective. This is our perspective, not the perspective of book of knowledge. Not oh, I know what is going on with my body. I know what is going on because I've got millions of receptors that, while being quiet, in stable state of mind going inward, I can observe. And with that observing, I put the light of my awareness, and I put all my nervous system, all my energy, all my consciousness, everything to the parts that need to be solved. That's why, for example, when something is, when you got the hurt, once you got the pain is cure for you because it takes your all attention, your body energy, your vital energy to the place, and it heals. That's why, because you activate it more, you give them more blood, more flow, more everything. Okay. So, what time we have?
20 minutes.
20?
Like
It's 10:40.
10:40.
10 minutes, okay. So, maybe we will not go today with the stretching, or I will do it in 5 minutes shortly, just remembering the exercises. But let's try with one thing. Each of you, let's try the seconds of breathing in and the seconds of breathing out. Let's try how long can you do with this technique of dividing the inhalation. Just
Do we do
just
only belly or?
yeah, I'm just doing with the belly. For the first time I did with belly and my whole chest to show you how long can it be. But at the second time when I was doing this 30 seconds, I was just doing only with the belly.
Okay.
So let's we don't have too much time. So let's try only with the belly, and I'm sure that first doing good exhale, then making the inhalation slowly, and then again slow exhalation, you will reach with no problem 20 seconds. It's 25. I will observe you how. First exhalation to get the air properly, yeah, and then count inhalation. Stop counting. And when you feel full with your belly, just start exhalation. and just look like with those 2 or 3 breaths, you went to the calm state of mind. And then you can continue with your practice, less and less giving the controlling mind to control the breathing. You must just go to the point that it's just happening naturally. But that is important in monastery, because when you train for all those years, this way of breathing goes into your nervous system, like into the routine. It's on autopilot. You don't have to do the control of that, because it's just so much imprinted in your way of behaving, in your way of being.
So I had this question. I wanted to ask it in Q&A, because from putting so much attention to what type of breathing and long lengths of breathing, I had an impression that in Zazen, like, it's like you're kind of breathing intentionally, or is it more like just in the beginning you learn? Because I'm meditating. I'm just stepping out and learning to get, and it takes time. It took. I don't have this always. I have these moments when I notice the body is just. So you mean that by training these technique of breathing, you faster reach to the point, or at some point you reach to the level that you can just observe that it's
I will answer the question. I'm a lay person, and I never had an opportunity to be in a monastery longer than session time. So I was just adjusting the techniques to help other people know in some faster way and find exercises to get easier to that process, which usually gets many years in monastery. Many years. Once I remember someone told that had been to Sogenji, to the Roshi, and this guy was some kind of banker or someone working with intellect, and he was given the Susokan. And usually when you come to the monastery, you always have a lot of respect to the place because you don't know what is going. You're not familiar. So, but he was always anxious about when he will get another practice, more advanced practice than Susokan. So after a year of practicing, he had
what is Susokan?
Susokan is counting the breathing.
Uh-huh.
So after a year, he had the courage to ask, how is with my practice when I will receive more advanced practice than Susokan? And there's like story that the Roshi told him, with you, it will be after 7 years. Of course, it's just like kind of legend, but in this legend, in this joke, there is a bit of truth, because sometimes if you learn 40 years how to keep your body and your breathing and your state of mind in proper way that it's not healthy for your mind, for your body, for your everything, then 7 years seems like only more than one of 7 of that. So it's quite fast.
Yeah, because I noticed that it took a couple of years for me to notice that I'm controlling the breath.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I had no idea. And now when I'm teaching someone, and a newcomer student says, like, I don't control the breath. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but finally in openness, you do not control the breath. So also in that, it's some kind of wisdom. So I usually also treat Zazen not as a way for your life. Zazen, sitting Zen meditation, but a way of exercising your body and your mind. And your life is when you get up from the cushion. So, okay, you remember the dynamic exercises during the years, really. After a year, you can do the full inhale. Don't do it faster. So I will today do with not full inhale, but just tidal breathing and just shallow inhale. And if you will be continuing with this inhale and breath hold through 1 year, you can progress and add on some more air. Okay? And move the air. Be gentle. Okay. Find the stretching. Find it here. I'm sometimes pushing up with my hand just to find this ball that gives me the feeling that I'm really stretching.
Do we do any exercises here in it? Just hold
yeah,
the breath?
You can hold the breath and just do a little bit movement because it's dynamics. It's supposed to be dynamics. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's supposed to be dynamics, so let's do another side. Okay, and with the dynamics, it was this movement on breath hold, on inhale and breath hold. Yeah. So first, try to feel your spine. Try to be as big and like on a ball, big ball in front of you, lying just in the back, and also opening here. Yeah. Another little movement. Okay. Too much air. If there is coughing, it means that you have taken too much air.
My lungs are not so great.
So we must take less.
It's normal for me sometimes.
Next is, and here you just stay on your breath hold without taking in much air, because it's really like brutal. Can be brutal for your lungs. Try different positions, gently moving your positions. Okay. And now, last thing we can also remember to do Uddiyana Bandha with this just small massage of our diaphragm. Start in the middle and then move out just a little bit. Okay. Oh, I forgot about my legs. So usually every day I do static like this one, static exercises and dynamic exercises. I connect them both. And just at the end of the day, before I'm going to sleep, it makes me really calm, and after I'm just getting to bed, I'm just deeply going into sleep because I'm just relaxed and empty-minded, so nothing is bothering me. And then in the morning, I usually feel quite fresh and quite reinvigorated with the sleep. And usually I sleep like 7 hours. I'm not just very strict at no, 6 or 7 hours. It depends on the day. When we are going to the pool at 6, then we are sleeping like 6 hours, 6.5. And when we are having days that we are not going to pool, like every second day, then we can sleep like 7 hours. Usually, also I need some more sleep because of the training days. I'm exhausted also with my body doing some kind of climbing training. But I found these exercises for stretching this part of the body. I also add some stretching of legs, but I don't want to show it to you because really Dobek was telling about that in Zazen, or maybe you may tell also how to take care of your tendons, of your muscles. Kurt is also doing this Tai Chi, so I don't want to add on this thing because I'm just doing things that it's good for me. It's not like yoga when you touch every part of your body, but I have just a set of exercises that is just especially good for me. But those of developing your rib cage elasticity and your strengthening your muscles are good for everyone. No matter are you a Zen practitioner, sportsman, or just a normal being, because this part of our body, I think, is most close to our head and our brain. We really accumulate a lot of stress here, and close to our hearts. So it's mostly or here. Although I know that there are subtleties that even when your knees hurts, it means something, and it can be recognized also on mind level, on your consciousness level, or your feelings, emotional level. We are so rich in working with our being, our body through this thousands of years that many different traditions just express and try to help people in different ways. Those exercises for making this flexibility here will just make you feel easier, calmer, and more relaxed in life. Yeah, so 10 minutes of break and we will have some. So 5 minutes of break and we will have something just change our clothes. For you to remember, Anapasati was the way that Buddha was teaching how to breathe, and it was just about making prolonged exhale and natural, shorter, relaxing. It is Anapasati. So it's that what I was explaining to you today with all those informations was really about Anapasati.
Oh.
So in this small term, there is such big of exploration and such big amount of knowledge and or people committed to that practice. And it's taught, I think, that from more than 200, 2,500 years.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Now we have lunch. We'll be back at 1 p.m. and we'll start with Teisha. Later there will be Zazen instruction at 2. At 3 we have mindfulness. And later at 4 we'll have a session of question and answers. And that will be followed by golden hour, an hour of meditation.